I'm happy. I have a great life. I'm a good person. I live in a good way. And you know what? I have great friends and I can call somebody and go anywhere and do anything. You know what I mean? Like those simple, I'm healthy.
Moved his belongings out of the house. The actor was also recently seen visiting his ex-wife Jennifer Garner, possibly to seek support. Ben has a key that allows him to come and go as he pleases, and he spends a lot of time at her place coming over for dinner and playing with the kids. An insider told close of the children enjoy having him around, and it's beneficial for his mental health. So the messy divorce drama involving J.Lo and Ben Affleck just took a wild turn after Ben sparked reconciliation rumors with Jen Garner. Some sources claim there is no romantic relationship between the two, but they have been spotted spending a lot of time together since Ben moved out of J.Lo's place, and there are even rumors that they recently took a secret vacation together. Guess what? J.Lo is out for blood. I mean, the guy always looked miserable and depressed around J.Lo, not even bothering to fake a smile on the red carpet. But if you thought J.Lo would take the high road, cut her losses, and move on, think again. The diva is out for revenge, and she's reportedly decided to go after Ben's fortune, demanding half of everything he owns now. Sources close to J.Lo are claiming that Ben was mooching off her during their short-lived marriage and that she was footing all the bills for their extravagant lifestyle. However, the real tea is that J.Lo's decision to go after Ben's money isn't because she felt he mooched off her. Instead, she's allegedly furious that Ben went back to Jen Garner because J.Lo worked hard to keep them apart. Sure, J.Lo never openly threw dirt on Jen Garner, always claiming they were one big happy blended family. But for those who have been paying attention, J.Lo has been sneak dissing Jen Garner ever since she got back with Ben in early 2021. Even in her The Greatest Love Story Never Told new documentary, ironically titled The Greatest Love Story Never Told, J.Lo couldn't resist throwing petty jabs at Jen Garner, seemingly alleging that during his whole marriage with Garner, Ben was fantasizing about J.Lo. Now fans were quick to call out J.Lo over this because it's such a low blow to talk about your husband's ex-wife, especially since Jen Garner and Ben have 3 children. So for J.Lo to publicly claim in her movie that their father never loved their mother and was secretly hoping to marry J.Lo is just cruel. But wait, there's more. Sources close to Jen Garner are also saying that J.Lo allegedly tried to undermine Garner's parenting. Whenever Garner's kids spent time with J.Lo, she would reportedly go against their mother's rules and boundaries. And now, on top of all this, J.Lo wants to take half of Ben's money, the money he was probably planning to leave to his kids. It's truly a new low for J.Lo, and fans who were already turning on her for different reasons are now saying she's really showing her true colors with this latest move. But let's get into the Ben and Jen Garner reconnection. Are they actually considering getting back together, or are they just friendly exes? And is this why J.Lo is plotting her revenge and going after Ben's money? Let's break it down.
He's in a wedding. It's a wedding. He's not going to give up his wedding. It's a wedding he's in.
I want you to call him.
Thirsty is like somebody who's like, you know, when they put like pictures of themselves and they get on Instagram and they're always like posing, they're thirsty. They
Like
want
you.
Jen Garner and Ben reconnect, though J.Lo and Ben haven't officially announced their divorce. Sources close to the former couple have confirmed they've been separated for months. While J.Lo is traveling the world and posting provocative photos in an attempt to convince everyone that the drama surrounding their divorce is affecting her, Ben has been busy spending time with his ex and mother of his 3 children, Jen Garner. Check out the rumors that have been circulating about Ben and Jen Garner's reunion. Just when we thought the drama surrounding their divorce couldn't get any messier, it appears that Jen Garner is hinting on Instagram that Ben has returned home. She recently posted a poem by Cleo Wade titled "It Gets Better," which has lines about how the only thing that lasts forever is forever. Shortly after, Jen Garner posted a video of Whitney Houston performing her hit song, "Where Do Broken Hearts Go?", which has lyrics like, "Where do broken hearts go? Can they find their way home back to the open arms of a love that's waiting there?" Could this mean Jen Garner is telling J.Lo that she's kind of sorry about her marriage, but she's still going to take Ben back? After her divorce from Ben in 2017, Jen Garner began dating businessman John Miller. The two have been dating for a while, but they haven't been spotted together recently. According to sources, Jen Garner ended her relationship with Miller quietly as soon as she realized that Ben and J.Lo were no longer together. Jen Garner was also the first to support Ben during his marital difficulties with G-Lo, and since Ben moved out of the mansion he shared with G-Lo, Jen Garner has been seen visiting Ben at his rental property in the Brentwood area, which is conveniently located near her own home. Jennifer Garner pays a visit when the 52-year-old Electra actress parked onto her ex-husband's driveway at Brentwood Estates and leaned out of her car to enter the pin to unlock the gates. Ben paid a visit to the house where her ex-husband has been living alone with their children not in tow. It's not surprising that Jen and Ben still have a close relationship given that they co-parent 3 children, but here's where it gets juicy. Over the past few weeks, rumors have been circulating online suggesting that Ben and Jen are spending a lot of time alone without their kids, and guess what? Those old romantic feelings are reportedly bubbling up to the surface. Jen Garner is probably the only woman Ben looked genuinely happy with, and they both claimed it was love at first sight. Ben has already stated publicly that divorcing Garner is the biggest regret of his life, but sadly his addiction issues got the better of him back then.
Addiction to alcohol sent him to rehab for the 3rd time and put a strain on his personal life. In 2018, he was seen in this photo being driven to a treatment facility by his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. The 47-year-old calls his divorce from the actress, quote, "the biggest regret of my..."
However, now that he's sober, rumors have it that Ben is second-guessing his previous decisions and feeling nostalgic about his marriage to Jen Garner. As for Jen, sources claim that she has always loved and cared for Ben despite everything. Given the amount of time they spend together, who knows what might happen? Ben also recently disclosed that the reason he feels so at ease with Jen Garner is that they both enjoy living a quiet life and fiercely guard their privacy. In contrast, G-Lo is all about the spotlight. Ben even claimed in G-Lo's documentary that she is practically dependent on attention from others and is addicted to it.
Describe her like you do with alcohol is that there isn't enough alcohol in all the liquor stores in the world to fill up that thing. And in Jennifer's case, I don't think there's enough followers or movies or records or any of the stuff to still that part of you that still feels a longing and a pain. Ultimately, that's the work that you've got to do.
Ben, on the other hand, seemed to detest G-Lo's practice of disclosing every aspect of their marriage to the public and became weary of her focusing more on their outward appearance than on genuinely developing a genuine relationship. Ben Affleck despises the G-Lo team. "I've always believed that things that are private are precious and unique because they are at least somewhat secret, so I had to make some adjustments." Ben has gotten very good at biting his tongue, but it's known that he's not happy at all about G-Lo's endless need for attention. An insider revealed to the publication that the Argo actor found it incomprehensible that his spouse Lopes wished to make their private lives public. In a recent interview, Affleck said given that J.Lo called off their engagement back in 2000 due to intense media scrutiny, you would think she learned her lesson the first time around. Later on, J.Lo said that this drama pushed her into a tailspin and that it was the greatest heartbreak of her life.
It's the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I honestly felt like I was gonna die. It sent me on a spiral for the next 18 years where I couldn't get it right. And my way of surviving was by working more and doing more and hiding that side of me.
So when G-Lo and Ben reconnected in 2021, everyone thought these two were really meant to be, and G-Lo herself claimed that she knew for a fact Ben was the one and that this time around it's really going to be forever when I was reunited with the love of my life and we decided we were going to be together forever. But if she knew media attention ruined her relationship with Ben, the first time around, why would G-Lo go and make a whole documentary about her love life, broadcasting all the intimate details of her relationship with Ben? I mean, I guess Ben was right when he compared her attention seeking to his alcohol addiction anyway. Ben's friends are now reportedly encouraging him to forget about J.Lo and give his relationship with Jen Garner another chance, and one of them is none other than his very best friend Matt Damon, who apparently never liked J.Lo and kept his distance from her while she and Ben were married. But why exactly did Matt never warm up to J.Lo? And was he the one who encouraged Ben to file for divorce? It is well known that Matt and J.Lo were never friends. even though she was married to his best friend. Luciana kept J.Lo close to him for almost 20 years, and since they are both very private and protective of their family, they had no interest in working with the circus that follows J.Lo everywhere she goes. However, Matt's concerns extend beyond their desire to maintain their privacy, as sources close to him recently revealed that Matt detested the way J.Lo treated Ben and was concerned that she would drive him back into addiction. According to a recent source who talked with OK magazine, Mara has always been very critical of Ben's marriage to J.Lo and was among the few who believed that it would be unwise for Ben to get back in touch with J.Lo after all these years. Matt had serious misgivings about Jennifer too, zero from the start. According to the source, he has tried to publicly support Ben for his friend's sake, but the truth is that he detests the way J.Lo treats his friend and can no longer control his tongue. Apparently, the tensions between Matt and J.Lo reached a breaking point when he realized that J.Lo wasn't taking Ben's sobriety seriously and that she had even launched her own alcohol brand. It's mind-boggling, though, that J.Lo chose to enter the alcohol industry, given that she had previously claimed to detest alcohol and hardly ever drank, let alone start her own brand.
Drink at all? You just drink?
No, I'm not a drinker. I just never started. It was another one of those things my mom just never, was like, don't drink, don't do drugs, you're gonna die. Like, oh.
So of all the business ventures she could have invested her money in, J.Lo decided to launch her own alcohol brand. No wonder Matt Damon was furious. Sources close to Matt are saying Matt tried to warn Ben about reconnecting with J.Lo, but apparently Ben refused to listen, and they even had a brief falling out over this. The source said that when Matt started giving Ben advice, he totally blew up, adding, "It feels like history repeating itself, because 20 years ago, they stopped talking for the exact same reason." Meanwhile, the source also shared that Matt's number of concern right now is to make sure Ben doesn't fall off the wagon, and apparently this is why Matt is encouraging Ben to stay super close to Jen Garner, who's always been a calming influence on him. Now, as for Jen Garner, you already know she's not the one to run to the tabloids and fuel the drama. However, sources are saying Jen is not a pushover either, and she apparently had to check J.Lo for the way she tried to undermine her parenting. So what exactly did J.Lo do to trigger Jen Garner? Jen checks J.Lo. So just last year, when reports first surfaced that J.Lo and Ben were having marriage problems, the rumor mill was buzzing that J.Lo was trying to turn Garner's children against their own mom and undermine Jen's parenting efforts. Why? Well, allegedly because J.Lo couldn't stand how well Ben and Jen Garner still got along. Reports claim that J.Lo's sources even ran to the tabloids to smear Jen Garner's strict parenting style, claiming that Ben and Jen's 3 kids actually preferred J.Lo and were spending more time with her than with their mom. Apparently, J.Lo was letting Garner's kids do whatever they wanted, completely ignoring Jen's parenting rules, and despite Jen Garner's efforts to give J.Lo the benefit of the doubt, it was clear J.Lo's actions were making it difficult for them to maintain a friendly relationship. And let's not forget that Jen Garner was doing her best to protect her and Ben's children's privacy while being constantly hounded by the paparazzi, who were always hoping to catch Ben at his lowest moments.
There were 5 or 6 cars minimum, and easily up to 15 or 20 on the weekends outside of my house at all times. And looking back on that, I really feel the stress of it.
In contrast to the other Jennifer, Jen Garner never sought media exposure and made a concerted effort to shield her children from the crazy Hollywood lifestyle.
In the morning, you can either be making breakfast for your kids, making their lunch boxes, or you can be getting paparazzi ready. And so, I know which way I'm gonna go.
However, it seems that J.Lo wasn't happy that Jen Garner was still in the picture, so she allegedly began subtly criticizing Jen's parenting. Meanwhile, Garner grew more and more irritated with J.Lo's attention-seeking antics, with sources claiming that Garner was concerned that J.Lo's narcissism would have a negative effect on her children. According to reports, Garner thought J.Lo was breaking all the standards she had set for her kids and ruining years of her parenting efforts. While J.Lo has freely acknowledged that she finds it difficult to set boundaries for the 2 children she shares with her ex-husband Mark Anthony, Jen Garner has always been outspoken about her desire to keep her children out of the spotlight as a parent. She believes in setting clear rules and boundaries for her kids because she was raised by strict parents herself, and has frequently discussed how this upbringing helped her stay grounded and avoid trouble once she started working in Hollywood.
That age where they were like challenging the status quo and really, kind of looking at you. And now it's not all like hearts and flowers anymore. Now it's kind of like, why are you telling me to do that? I don't want to do that. Just like constantly kind of the push and pull of being a teenage mom.
Is that Max or Remy? Who's the most challenging?
Both of them.
When my kids were at J.Lo shares with Mark Anthony, they were kind of challenging the status quo and really kind of looking at you. And now it's not all hearts and flowers anymore. Instead, it's more like, why are you telling me to do that? I don't want to do that. There's just this constant tug of war between being a teenage mom and not wanting to do that.
Being the child of famous parents is really not something that many people can understand, and I feel for.
Being the child of famous parents is something that not many people can understand, and I feel bad for them because they didn't choose that. J.Lo has also previously acknowledged that her 2 children struggle with being in the spotlight, but it didn't seem like she was doing much to shield them from all that media attention. While J.Lo enjoys sharing pictures of the kids on Instagram, Jen Garner recently disclosed that she has very tight guidelines about her kids using social media.
I just said to my kids, show me the articles that prove that social media is good for teenagers, and then we'll have the conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Find
Facts.
scientific evidence that matches what I have that says that it's not good for teenagers, then we'll chat.
And how do they feel at this point?
My eldest is grateful.
Wow. See,
And
you
we'll
just gotta
see.
be in the long haul.
I mean, it's a long haul. I have a couple more to go, so just.
Because of this, when Jen Garner's 3 children began spending a lot of time with J.Lo, Ben Garner reportedly felt that J.Lo might be influencing them in ways that went against her parenting style. She was even allegedly concerned that J.Lo was trying to subvert the values and boundaries she had worked so hard to establish. However, now that Jen Garner and Ben Affleck have made their reconciliation public, rumors are circulating that J.Lo is seething with jealousy and anger, and that she is seeking retribution on Ben, even at the expense of his children. J.Lo's revenge, so it appears that J.Lo won't let Ben off the hook without exacting a significant amount of revenge. Rumor has it that she wants to exact financial revenge on Ben, and that she has her sights set on his $150 million fortune. An insider close to J.Lo revealed that she believes she should be compensated for paying for the majority of their costs during their brief marriage, as Ben was reportedly constantly complaining about his bills. One of the little-known secrets, according to the insider, is that Jennifer paid for a large portion of their marriage expenses. She now feels as though he owes her, and she is tallying all of the private plane bills she charges her credit card for, along with the hotels, dinners, clothes, coffee runs, and gas. According to the source, she paid the lion's share for the $60 million mansion they purchased in addition to the high cost of living. The rumored breakup after just 2 years of marriage has made J.Lo realize just how much Ben has taken advantage of her, and she is now determined to get her money back. According to the source, she isn't the one who gave up on their marriage and is feeling really burned out and out for blood. If he had stayed in the marriage like a good boy, she wouldn't have minded, but he abandoned her, and in the end, Jennifer always gets her comeuppance, so she's ready to play hardball. However, we're now hearing from other sources that J.Lo's revenge plot isn't about Ben not doing his financial share, apparently. She is furious because he has reconnected with Jennifer Garner, and she wants to find a way to make Ben pay for it now. Fans claim this just serves to highlight J.Lo's enormous narcissist. What do you think of J.Lo going after Ben's money and allegedly demanding half of his fortune? Jennifer Garner and their daughters probably didn't take too well to learning that he was whispering sweet nothings in J.Lo's ear while still married. She is so tone deaf that she didn't realize how that would affect his family before her. Their greatest love story has turned cold. One fan said she'll destroy him if she can't have him. She's the typical narcissist, and his bad decision to marry her has him literally paying the price now. Another fan wrote she's demanding that because she's embarrassed at this outcome after her movie about them having the greatest love story. Make sure to stay tuned for this upcoming video and share your ideas in the comments section.